of days, maybe. But when I watch a lot of the foreigners that are here in the Philippines, and I love it. I love listening to their complaints and their whining. I was listening to one guy, and I'm not saying who they are. It's not fair, but how he does they don't like the beggars. No, nobody likes the beggars, but it is part of the culture here. You know, and I'm sure where you're from, there are beggars too, and probably more of them. And my wife's doing a posting, so she's looking for something to put on it. Anyway, yeah, there's beggars. I don't like them, and yeah, they do sit at McDonald's and Jollibee, and I don't know why they allow it either. But it is what it is, and that type of beggar, it's their culture. Literally, it's what they do. It's how they survive. If you watch, some of them have iPhones, new ones too. They still beg. That's their whole deal. And if you choose to give them money, that's totally on you. It's nothing wrong with that. It's just how it works here. I don't particularly like it, and I don't give them any money. My wife does. She'll give them, 5 pesos, 10 pesos, which it's her choice. I don't put her down for it. It's good for her. Things are different in the Philippines, that's for sure. And depending on where you live, determines a lot of stuff. Like what the foreigners call the skin tax. I like it. I don't get that at all. I've been where I'm at, and pretty much all the locals know me. They know me in the store if I'm with my wife, or if I'm not, they still know I belong here, or kind of belong here. Do you ever belong here? I don't know. So but they even do it to each other. Like my wife will go up and she'll buy 3 tomatoes, and they'll tell her, 10 pesos or whatever it is, and she'll look at them and go, no, 6. And she may have $100 bill in her pocket, but that 2 or 3 pesos, it's not. It's the culture. That's all I can say. They do it to each other. They do it to everybody. You're not special or not special because, they want to charge you a little more. The one that bugs me the most is the damn newbies. Man, I wish you guys would just stop coming to the Philippines. Stay at home. Go back to the U.S. I can't stand it when, oh, I took a tricycle ride last night. The guy told me 100 pesos. I gave him 1,000. I'm like, yeah, so you're stupid? And it's not the money. Okay, I get it. Help his family, that's cool, all that. It's not that. It's, we're Americans or Canadians or Europeans or whatever you are. I don't like getting into a tricycle in a place that I don't know and having them expect me to give them, $20 for a 50-cent ride. And it happens because of the damn foreigners that don't understand that you're not helping the economy here by giving these guys a handful of money. You're hurting us. You're hurting the people that live here. You're actually not doing the economy any good at all. Take them out and fill up their gas tank. They're on a tricycle, take them down the gas station and fill their tank up for them. If you watch, they'll put 50 pesos or 100 pesos in their gas tank. You want to do something cool? Fill up their gas tank for them. Don't give them money. I don't agree with that. I don't even agree with really giving them gas, but I think that's a better idea than just dumping a handful of cash on them. Give it to me. You want to give them money? Just blow it off. Send it to me. I'll take it. Yeah, yesterday was just a real calm day. My wife's sister and her husband and their kids were here for 3 weeks, and their visit ended yesterday. My wife was a little sad about it. They all took off, and everybody said goodbye. They had a little dinner. I didn't go. I work at night, so it's hard for me to go and do anything with the family because I have to answer my phone to, that's how I make my living. But it's nice, and you guys, there are a lot of things that aren't like the U.S. Oh, I got another little complaint. I was listening to one of the foreigners. Again, I'm not saying who. I really couldn't tell you who. I mean, I know, but I don't know his name. And he said that no matter what happens, we're at fault. And I'm like, what? I've been in 2 accidents here, and granted, neither of them were my fault. I got hit by, I was making a turn, and some dumb kid on his motor scooter went to overtake a car without looking, and I was in the middle lane making a left turn. I was already committed to the turn, and he decided to plow into the side of me. Luckily, nobody really got hurt, and it hit my sidecar, which didn't hurt the sidecar either. And the other one was, we were at a stop sign, and I went to go, and one of the tricycle drivers had cut the corner really short, and he was coming where he wasn't supposed to be coming from on the right side. I was looking to the left to make sure I wasn't going to hit by the traffic. I looked up, and here's this idiot sitting in front of me. I hit the brakes, and the guy behind me hit my car. Not bad, a little tiny, not even a nickel-sized dent. A little teeny. I didn't fix it, it's still there. And so the first time when we got hit on the tricycle, the kid had no insurance, no driver's license, the bike wasn't registered, no shoes on, no mirrors, everything that could be wrong was wrong. And he looks up to me because I walked over to him after he got done. He slid like 30 feet. I walked over to him and I said, "Are you okay?" And he said, "Please, sir, don't call the police." And I just looked up and I said, "I don't need to call the police." He literally slid right into the front of a police truck full of cops. So that was a boo-boo on his. So I walked over. I didn't have my driver's license with me. It was one of those times I literally forgot my wallet. And the cop walks over and he goes, "Sir, do you have your driver's license?" I said, "No, you know what? I just sent my wife home to get it. I'm sorry, I forgot my wallet." And he says, "Oh, it's no problem." He goes, "Just if you get a chance today or tomorrow, would you come down to the police station so we can do the report?" And I said, "Oh yeah, I'll come down as soon as I get my wallet." He goes, "No rush, no rush." Then the kid that hit me, all scarred up, his face has all got a big scratch on it, his arms all torqued because he slid 30 feet on the pavement. He limps over and he goes, "Excuse me," he said that to the cop, and the cop turned around, grabbed him by the shoulders, picked him up off the ground and threw him into the truck. I'm like, hey, take it easy, he just got hurt." He goes, "Hurt? He should have got killed. No license, no insurance." He goes through the whole. I'm like, "Yeah, but take it easy, he's a kid. They make mistakes. I'm sure you made some." The cop just was shaking his head, and they got in the car, and I know they brutalized him all the way to the police station. And so we get to the police station, and the cop is apologetic to me because I got hit. And I'm like, it's an accident. That's why they don't call them on purposes, because it's an accident. I go, "He didn't do any damage to me, and I'm okay." And his motorcycle took the brunt of the problem. It got tore up pretty bad. So the kid had gone to the hospital, and he comes back over. And when he gets there, the cop had already decided it was his fault, everything. And the kid's mom says, "Sir, the medicine is like 600 pesos. Could you pay for it?" And asked me. And I'm like, told my wife, I said, "Just pay the money." She goes, "But it's not our fault." I know, but they can't afford the money, and he's tore up pretty bad. Let's just take care of it. So we did. And then, being Mr. Nice Guy that I am, and he lives way too far to walk, and there's no buses. He lives up in kind of the sticks around here. And so his motorcycle was unrideable. So I said, "Go find out what it's going to cost to get your motorcycle fixed." So a few days go by, and he comes back to me and goes, "Well, the motorcycle company has a bunch of used parts. They said they'll fix it for me." I think it was 1,500. It wasn't much, $30. And I said, "All right, I'll go talk to him and I'll take care of it for you." "Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you." He was appreciative. And so I went and took care of it. Well, here's the kill. About 2 weeks went by. Never heard nothing from the kid, which I didn't expect to. And we were in one of the stores that we go to on a regular basis, and the kid we knew worked in that store. And I wasn't looking for him or anything else, but somebody else walked up and knew my wife. She knows everybody down there. And the guy says, or the girl says to her, she goes, "So you caused an accident, it was your fault, and blah, blah got hurt. She goes, what? No, of course not. She goes, well, he's saying it was your fault. It tells me, and I'm like, the little SOB. So I walked up to him, I said, are you telling people in this store that it was my fault that you ran into me? Uh, uh, yes, sir. I said, take care of that. If I walk in here again and you tell somebody that again, I'll have the police come and pick up your motorcycle. I wouldn't have done it, but straighten him out anyway. But the cops here are, I mean, actually, I know them all. Most of them are the older ones. They come up to my house periodically and, are just nice guys. They really are. They come up here and they shoot the air rifles or the airsoft guns, and we have a couple of shots or a beer or whatever, and shake hands and talk and bullshit about their jobs, and off they go. And actually, I think I said this in one of my other videos. One of them was telling me they were doing a welfare check on all the foreign people in the area because of the war thing, and there's Iranians, Iraqis, and everything else live here. The Philippines, it's a mixture of everybody. And they go, yeah, we're just here doing a welfare check, making sure everything's okay. I said, yeah, it's all good, don't worry about it. And I go, where are you headed next? I go, oh, we're going to go that way to the other Americans. I go, oh, you're going to go to the guy down by the river? Oh, no. Why? No. Every time we go down there, sir, he screams at us. He what? I go, what do you mean he screams at you? Yeah, he treats us really bad, and he screams at us, and he yells, and why are we on his property, and who the heck are we to come to his house? I'm like, well, you're a policeman, you're doing your job. Why don't you just stand your ground and say, look, this is my job. If you yell at me again, I'm going to take you to jail. And if you yell at me after that, I'll have you deported. Oh, yeah, we could do that, sir, but, and they're too nice guys. They're just too mellow. They don't want to stir up the trouble even for a guy that's giving them a hard time, But the cops are really mellow. I mean, they're real nice around here. So if you're having trouble with, if the cops are treating you like crap, maybe you better find a different place to live, because you're in a tourist place is what it is. You got a lot of tourists there, and, they have a different attitude towards tourists. Tourists are buttheads, most of them, They come in, they think they know everything. They screw up the economy. They screw up the younger girls. I mean, I'm so sick. If anybody, my friends come over sometimes and come spend a week or a month, and if they even come close to saying they want to, they're all in their 60s and 50s, that they want to go see, have a, 20 or 18-year-old girlfriend. My daughter's 24. I go right down their throat, man. No, get back on your fucking airplane and just go. I don't even want you over here. Because it's not the way it is. I mean, 35, I get. If you're 50, you want a girlfriend that's in her 30s or 35, okay, that's cool. But not somebody who's 19 or 20, just so you can screw up her life and then go back to the U.S. No. Don't do it around me. Just go back. This is a very homey place. It's very comfortable. The kids are out playing at 10 o'clock at night, like it was when I was in elementary school. We were out in the front yard riding our bikes and goofing off and throwing water balloons at each other and whatever. And that's how it is here right now. Why would they want to come here just to mess that up? And so, I don't know. Don't come. I kind of am wishing that I was one of the only Americans in this country. And America is so screwed up now. Gee, crickets. I mean, it's terrible. It really is. I mean, the homeless people, the drug addicts, the violence, the theft. One of my guys that worked for me in the U.S., his truck has been broken into 6 times in 2 months. And they don't just break into it. They do major damage, break windows out, screw up the steering column, steal all his tools, whatever. And he calls the cops, and the cops go, yeah, well, take care of it better. And he's like, what? One of my guys got his truck broke into in his own garage while he was asleep right above the garage. I don't know how that works, man. I can't even imagine. There's no crime here as I see. I hear some of the foreigners go, oh, there's so much crime. Bullshit. There's no crime here. I mean, you would really have to go someplace stupid or hang out in one of the pool halls. I don't even know what you could do to find to find trouble here. It's almost not a reality. You know, the people here just aren't into that at all. You know what I mean? It's just not it. You know, I mean, we've given tricycle drivers that we don't know money to bring our groceries home. You know, we'll spend $100, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 pesos at the store on groceries, throw it into a tricycle. We don't even know the tricycle driver, pay him to deliver the groceries, and he'll put them in our house if we want. We're not even there. We're still at the store. And do we think twice about it? Not as we do a little bit now, because we have a lot of new tricycle drivers and a lot of new people in the town that we don't know. The town's growing pretty fast. But when I'm on Luzon, I'm about an hour and a half from Baguio City and 2.5 hours from Manila. And I'm in one of the provinces. It's just a little place. It's very cool. You know, where my backyard, well, outside of my backyard is all rice field. Ours was a rice field at one time. When I got here, it was rice field. We actually grew rice the first, I think, 2 years we were here. 1 year for sure we had rice. As soon as I saw what that was like, I went, no, this is stupid. There's no money. You know, you guys think there's money in the rice here. There maybe in somewhere in the big farms, but these local growers, the way it works is the Americans and Canadians, they pay for the crop. They pay for the seed. They pay for the help. They pay for all that. And then by time they're done doing the harvest and taking it, drying it out, and then taking it to, you know, the mill, they don't get a big crop, and then they sell it, and then they tell the people in the U.S. and Canada, oh, there was no money, we barely broke even. And yet they didn't put any money out, only the people in the States do. So that's a good scam, but it works. It's how it's been forever. My first house here I built for about $2,000. And I seriously believe I could build another house here for maybe $2,000, maybe $3,000. Not big, 1 bedroom, 1,200 square feet, but I think you can still do it if you know how. Now, if you don't know how and you just go, well, I'm going to build a house, and you don't have a clue, yeah, I don't think you can. I think it would cost you $10,000, just because you don't know. You don't know what to do, you know. And these guys hire contractors and laborers, and I would never do that. I would hire permanent employees. I'd hire an employee that does rock work, you know, like to build like bricks. That could not only, you know, just do all of it, pour the cement, know what he's doing, so we give him a helper and he could get it all done. I'd hire somebody who could do labor work and build the blocks. That's what I did before. I'd hire another guy that could do like electrical and plumbing, and I'd make them my employees. I still have one of the guys who works for me here after 8 years. You don't, but guys come here, they don't know what they're doing. They talk to, you know, other Americans who also don't know what they're doing, and they, you know, they'll spend $30,000, $25,000 building a little 2-bedroom house. I have a custom home, and like I said, you guys watch, you know, I have a tennis court and a golf course and a bar and an apartment with a couple of beds in it, jacuzzis, swimming pool, fishing pond. I don't have that much money tied up into my home, but it's gorgeous. I love it. So anyway, that's my rant for the day. You guys, you know, you foreign people that are here, if you're seeing a lot of crime and a lot of shit you don't like and the cops aren't treating you good, you probably ought to move somewhere else. And I would also say that you probably don't want to talk bad about the police department in your area. And you don't want to talk bad about your neighborhood or your neighbors, because everybody has a cell phone and they know who you are. If you think that, you know, the neighborhood and the neighbors that you talk bad about their kids or their dogs don't watch your videos, you are way, way, way wrong. I'll tell you. Same with the police. I would bet that the cops watch your channels every single chance they get, just to see what you have to say. So anyway, it's something to think about. Don't talk bad about your neighbors, your neighborhood, the police, the government. Just stay neutral. Talk good about them. Like me, I talk good about all of them because I like them all. I've got a couple of minor issues with a couple of my neighbors. Doesn't matter. I deal with it my way, and they deal with it their way, and you know, on we go. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna hang it up. In 20 minutes. Wow, I said nothing in 20 minutes. 20 minutes of saying nothing. That's pretty good. Okay, well, until the next time. Hey, like, subscribe, thumbs up, send money. Here, let me beg. I'll put my PayPal in the next one. You guys can send me money. Yeah, there we go. Okay, have a good one, man. Favorite thing to draw. You have a good one now. All right, enjoy life. Bye.